6 Jeep Gladiator features you probably didn't know about unless you had a really good salesman. Number 1, the rear seat locks. One of the big complaints about the Gladiator is that it doesn't have enough lockable storage. Well, there is or are a few lockable storage areas. The first is right behind the seats. If you pull the seat up, you can see right here on the top there is a slot for a key. And that key is, of course, your Switchblade Jeep Gladiator fob. The key fits in that slot right there, and then you can lock the rear seats so that nobody can have access to what's behind. Now, there's not a ton of storage room back there, but nonetheless, there is storage room behind the seats. Number 2, the center console does lock. Now, they kind of hide the lock for it right here, which I guess is good because you want it hidden, right? When it's closed, you'd never know, right? It's right over here on the side. So again, you put your key fob Switchblade key in there and you can actually lock the center console. While we're in here, I'm going to add a 2A. You can turn the lights on the Jeep Gladiator off by just pushing the button, or not the button, but rotating the switch here all the way down, and the lights go off. Rotate it up, and they come on. It also controls the brightness of the screen inside the Jeep Gladiator. Next up, number 3, and I keep mine off, by the way. Number 3, the tailgate tilt. It is possible to tilt your tailgate so that if you're hauling anything that maybe could slide straight out of the back, you can put the tailgate up a little bit to give it an angle, if you will, so that things are stabilized in the truck. How do you do that? You pull the tailgate up to about like so, and then put the cable right behind this little bracket right here. And notice it holds the tailgate up at an angle so that you can just kind of stick things in there without them sliding out of the back of the truck. Now, the other side does the same thing. You would go ahead and put this one behind this holder as well. But more importantly, you can haul longer pieces of material, like say a piece of plywood, drywall, or whatever, evenly. This edge lines up with the covers, or the fender well covers, if you will, inside the truck so that you can slide something right across. Pretty darn handy. And I'm going to add I guess a 4A to this, or a 3A. There are slots in the side of the truck where you can put, I believe it's a 2x8 or a 2x6, so that you get another surface to stabilize things as they're being hauled on top of the wheel or fender wells back to the tailgate. I'll add I guess a 3B, and that is there are slots in those fender wells up there so that you can put a board across there as well. Again, to be able to lay something flat without having it flex inside the bed. Of course, to remove this, just go ahead and tilt the tailgate back up, and the cable comes back down, and you're flat once again. Let's move on to number 4. And I'm sure a lot of you probably know about this, but I'm sure there are many of you that do not as well. The Jeep Gladiator, of course, unfortunately, comes with auto stop. The bane of all features out there, in my opinion. I hate auto stop. But there is a button. You may have noticed right here. It has an A with an arrow running around it, and it does say off. Let's see if I can get you a closer shot. Right here. I know it's a little dark in here. Anyway, it says off. If you push this button, it temporarily, while the vehicle is running before you turn it off, eliminates auto stop. Now, once you shut the vehicle down, it resets, if you will, and you have to push that button again every time. Now, there are folks out there who have mentioned they wish there was a permanent way to shut this off. There is. I believe it's a company called Auto Stop Eliminator. It's a little device that you plug in behind the dash that remembers the last setting until you change it again. So in other words, if you install that device and you push the auto stop off button, it will remember that every time you restart the truck, so that you never have to screw around pushing the auto stop button again. There is some concern out there, however, that if you don't utilize the auto stop feature, it will drain the auxiliary battery faster. I don't know if that's really true. I think it's probably just rumor, but just something to be aware of if you decide to go with one of those auto stop eliminators. Number 5, the gas cap holder. There is a gas cap holder, not a locking gas cap, but a gas cap holder on the outside of the lid, I guess. You may have noticed this right here. There is a purpose for it. Instead of having the gas cap dangle and bang into your paint, you just put it right up there like that. It hangs out of the way. Yeah, I don't know that it's the best feature, because honestly, I find that when I use it, I'm kind of banging around on my fender here anyway. But nonetheless, they did give us that feature. Make sure when you put your cap back on that you click it a few times. If you ever get a check engine light on your gauge cluster, make sure you undo and redo your gas cap, because most times if the gas cap is loose or not tightened down all the way or not even on, you'll get a check engine light on your gauge cluster, and it's easily fixed by tightening up the gas cap. Number 6, reverse door open brake bypass. A lot of words right there, and we're going to test this out and see if it works. But the way the Jeep is set up, if you have the door open, and I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm backing up, particularly if I'm against something, I'll have the door open so I can see, like maybe the bottom of this post I have, right? But Jeep has this handy dandy feature that if you have the door open, the brake kicks in and it won't let you reverse. However, I have been told that if you go back to park and then back to reverse, it will work. So we're going to test that out right now. Okay, we're in park right now and the truck is running. I'm going to go ahead and shut the door, put it into reverse, open the door, and see if it will let me back up. It says right away, vehicle not in park on the gauge cluster. Let's see if I let off the gas, if it'll let me go backwards. No, the brake kicked in right there. You could probably see it lurch a little. So now while the door is still open, foot on the brake, I'm going to park. Now I'm going back to reverse. It says auto park not engaged on the dash. So it's going to let me go in reverse. Let's try. And it does work. It continuously beeps at me, lets me know that the auto park is not engaged, but you can back up and reverse. You just have to go back to park and then to reverse, and then you're going to be able to go without that auto brake engaging. Awesome. I did not know that. So there you have it. Just a few features that most people probably didn't know about, at least all of them, or completely forgot about with the Jeep Gladiator. Leave a comment. Let me know if you knew about all of these, particularly that reverse brake disable when you want to go backwards with the door open. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.